All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. Oh, look, that's not me. I'm uglier than that dude. Come on, just keep that in so we can get out of there. That was funny. All right. This isn't funny though. This is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, just getting hammered, as well as our country getting hit with the storm now. So yeah, lots of stuff going on, lots of new wrenches in this room. All right, as you can see, here's our object captured in this frame right here. You can see the magnetic field around it, instrumentation reacting. We'll put this into motion here. This is January 15th of 2024. So let's do it backwards, shall we? No, let's do it forward in reverse. There we go. Let that loop play for a second there. Let your eyes soak in what's going on there. Oh, look, Surfer Girl's got a wrench too. I didn't know surfboards had nuts and bolts. Oh, yeah. The nut is on the top of the board. I love you guys. You're so much fun. All right, so you can see our activity. Boom, there's our object creating that CME right there. Really slow motion, something weird going on down there. And then, let's see. This one, too. A little sneaker going along the side there. So, even though the GOES X-ray flux doesn't read much, we still have activity going on here. All right, all you have to do is come over to this instrument and take a peek and pause it every once in a while and go frame by frame. But I paused it in the wrong place. There we go. That's good enough right there. Here's where our weird little event, this bar type looking object right here, that I don't know, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. You should come over here to this instrument and take a peek yourself as well. You might even see something going on right now that you might want to go back and look at a little later. Anyways, there's this weird little and the kind of shaped CME to it too as well. Then as we continue on, ooh, right about there. Am I seeing what I think I see? Right here. Yeah, maybe. All right, well, anyways, there's that event still moving outward. We have this small little guy right there. Probably a little satellite moon type. When I say satellite, I mean not our human made satellites. I mean something that orbits another object. Okay. When I say the term satellite, I mean an orbiting object that orbits another body. Okay. That kind of satellite. And then we have this little guy sneaking out through there. You can see him pretty well right there. And the little plasmoid coming off the back of it. Then we have this event. Boom. Big old sheet of plasma coming off with this. And you can make out some circular structure right there. Whoops. And then right here, I think it was this one right there is better. We don't really need to kind of zoom in, do we? You can see it pretty clearly right here. Little black circle kind of enveloped in a bunch of other. Here, we'll zoom in. There we go. It's a little bit better. Now you can see our round black spheroid, this clouded stuff around it. There appears to possibly be one in this as well. All right. See it? Good. Moving on. Zooming out and moving on. Whoops, wrong way. All right, forgive me here. I'm trying to make pleasure out of pain. Fusing pleasure and pain together is a triumph of the spirit. All right. I think that was about it. You see this little thing sneaking out through there too as well. All right, so we're going to put it back into motion. Let that roll for a second so you guys can see what's going on in there with your own eyes. Boom. Okay, pretty clear what's going on in there. Not so clear what's going on down here, though. That's what's interesting. So maybe if we speed this up, we might see something a little bit clearer. Ooh, what? I don't know. Anyways, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. You can come over here, speed it up, slow it down, take a peek at it, zoom in on it. If you thought you saw something that we missed here, ooh, what the heck? Leave if you see something in this that we missed or something, leave a comment in the comment section. We can come back and revisit it or take a peek at what you think you see in there. All right, so there's that activity today for the 15th of January. Coming on over here to the seeds. Now you can see we got pretty quiet activity here. Whoops, let me just zoom in nice and tight on this because this is really kind of hard to see. So, all right, let's get right up in it. There we go. See, it's been tapering off, just this little bump, ba-boom, ba-boom. So when you come and look at this instrument, it would make you think that there was no activity today. But if you go over to the other one, you can see exactly what happened. So I'm not going to keep going through that. I'm just going to mention that and then move on. Okay, here we go. 5%. See, it's jumping up. It was 1% or something. I think it should be right there, maybe possibly even a little bit higher here soon with this big sunspot facing us. Anyways, I did not back out enough. Can we scooch it that way? There we go. All right, our KP index. This is like the highest KP index reading we've had in a while, a 3. And that's almost kind of like normal activity right there. So finally, we've reached a KP of 3. We did have a little absorption from that yellow band in the auroras here. Okay, now if you look at them right now, they're nice and weak, and that's good. We don't need a bunch of energy hitting us right now. But that little yellow band that filled in there kind of kicked off some activity, especially Iceland. Anyways, for right now, they're faint. They're doing well. You can see that the KP, we had a little spike, but nothing too major. This is, I believe, the same article, from yesterday. They're still tracking the same thing on the tracker. Yep, going away from us right there. That's a big blast, too. I'm glad that's going away from us. But that little thing that kicked it off seems to be kind of coming our way. We'll see. Anyways, there's that. Not much on the track. Let's back her out. Back her the tracker. All right, good there. Moving on. All right, here we go. Infectual sunspots. Solar activity remains low despite a relatively large number of sunspots. For the past 5 days, more than a dozen sunspot groups have failed to produce anything stronger than a minor C-class solar flare. All of today's sunspots have stable magnetic fields. Stable magnetic fields. Good. So the situation is unlikely to change. On January 16th, solar flare alerts. The Arctic air does to the sun. We've all seen these halos before. What I wanted to do here was open up this real quick. I don't do a lot of sunspot reporting, but here, this is a pretty major sunspot right here that hasn't been active, thankfully. All right, but if it did fire off something, we are right in still the strike zone. We also have this one that's a pretty healthy size, and then one's rotating around. So between this one and this one, that's why I say that X flare potential, could remain there. At 5% or the potential's there a little bit higher just because of these bigger size sunspots and their position. They seem to be magnetically stable, okay? But still, it's like looking right at the dragon's eyes, okay? Just because he hasn't seen you, he's looking away or something doesn't mean that they're not dangerous, okay? But stable for right now, thankfully. Something else. What was this? Let's see if you guys can see this at all. Look at this and look at this. Especially this one. Can you see it? It has to be kind of small like that. If we click on it, it might get too big. Well, and in your face, hint, hint. But interesting configuration we have on the sun right now, huh? Looks like dash, nose, 2 eyes. All right. Anyways, do you see how when it's up close like that, how when you back out, it really looks more like one? Same with this one. Anyways, here, look if there's anything on the red one. Yeah, kind of. Anyways, that's pareidolia for you, okay? Other stuff we have are real faces. Anyways, I wanted to move back on over to here. We finished up with sunspots. Oh, yeah, here we go. What the Arctic air does to the sun, blah, 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 blah. This week, the polar vortex spilled into the USA, blanketing the Midwest with air as cold as minus 20. I bet you guys are having minus 40 and stuff. But, anyways, the polar vortex spilled into the USA. Then we are going to come over here and take a peek at the Schumann. And before I mention anything, because I don't want power of suggestion or anything like that, I want you guys that already kind of understand how this works to look at that. Okay, here's your 7.83 hertz, okay, just so you know which line to look for. And most of you are looking at the big screeching event. Some of you are looking at where our magnetic field was very, very weak today. Feelin Tri-Polar? Yeah, because our magnetic field is getting weak. And that's about here. You know what? We're going to have to sacrifice all the focusing and do some sliding and scooting here because I want you guys to get up close and friendly so you can see exactly how much power there was to our magnetic field today. Get out of the wavy lines a little bit. There you go. That's about the best we can get for the moment here. I want it kind of bright so you're not getting cheated. See how weak it is in that zone right there? It was, except for this one little thing where it kind of, burped and tried to go again. But basically from like here to here, it was very weak. Even like from here to here. These are just very weak little pulses where it's trying to kickstart back. All right, so we had a pretty long session of not down, but very weak. Like a brownout, okay? And this was a medium to dark brown, okay? If you wanted to judge it that, on a scale like that. And we've seen it where everything kind of goes black on the whole screen. So at least it wasn't one of those events. But you can see your 7.83 got pretty weak today. And we just had this intense stuff rattling your brain. All right, shaking up everything. And then you got this right afterwards. So you probably on a little roller coaster ride, aren't you? Yep. Okay, now that you see that, we're going to try to get back into range again here. Wavy line range. Hey, I'm thankful I get to fight these and have a good picture. All right? Or a better picture for you guys. Oh, what? It wasn't time to go there yet. Come on, bring that back, Lord. We're just about to get tripolar with it. Whoa. Maybe that's... Okay. Let's tripolar it again. There we go. Yeah. We got like one, two, we got like three of them now. That's the actual, that's the upper. Okay, we're on 10. See the setting right here? We're at the polar vortex, our tripolar vortex. All right, and what's interesting has happened here. Remember how this was stretching out and feeding this? Look how it's separated off now. We got this one kind of gaining strength right here, or getting more organized. And then we got this over the US that has now, let's just let the wind flow. And I'll let you be the judge of where you think the polar vortex is reaching down to. Oh, I don't know. Could it be that far down? Yep. All right, so we are in for a deep freeze, as in deep south, even deeper. Remember, we were looking at storms coming off of Mexico, snowstorms from Mexico hitting Texas before. No, this is how it could possibly happen. And then what we need to do here is seriously talk about this other vortex over here. Oh my God, I don't even know how to tell you guys this. All right, Lord, just do it, okay? All right, so you see this vortex right here that has been our other one that's been competing with this one. This one's kind of dying out because it's going backwards from where? Starting. All right, let's start at the West Coast. So it's going backwards from the Pacific, all the way backwards across the Pacific. It it does join up a little bit and feed to this, but the main energy of it continues backwards across Asia, India. Then it does a U-turn and feeds into the backside of this vortex. Do you see this whole other vortex, right? The stretched out one right here? It's a conveyor belt, and there's four, really. There's one, or this one, two, three, and then there's the big conveyor belt. And watch how much. Let's see if I can capture this just right. Was it like this? I think. Look how much of the world's from here to here is going backward. That's more than half of the polar vortex going backward, more than half the planet. See what I'm saying? And now it's caused these two to kind of sever more and fight for energy. And let me kind of go down lower a little bit here. Sorry, I'm spinning around. I should try to slow down so you guys can look as well. Now, when we come down a little lower, do you see what's happened here? This vortex is breaking off and becoming its own dominant vortex. This one's gaining strength and get organizing again. And this one over here is kind of dissipating and disappearing. That is at the level just below the polar vortex. Then we go a little bit further down to your upper jet stream. And now you see how it's affecting your upper jet stream. Here, I want to try to catch as much of the planet there while I switch back. So I want you to see the correlation as we go down lower. Here, let me bring this up so you guys can see better. And pull it in, we can see better. All right, so starting from the top, that's the polar vortex, going down through the mid layer to the upper jet stream. This is the lower jet stream. And then as we continue to go lower and lower altitude, you can see how these vortexes affect our weather. There's 1,000 feet off the ground, and then that's surface. But right, right about here and here is where a lot of our storm activity hangs out in that range. And you can see that the polar vortex right there is affecting weather down below. All right. How about this tripolar? Okay. This, I have a feeling, is an effect of our passing system. When it goes by, it tugs and pulls magnetically on the planet, does some weird things here and there. Some of the trailing objects seem to be even more magnetized than the big one. And when they pass by, they whip up storms that move fast through that nobody saw coming. But do you see your tripolar smiley face here? The eyes, the nose, and the little mouth here. Is that how you guys kind of feel a little bit? Does that face kind of describe how you're feeling? If not, maybe it's this face on the other side then when we turn it around this way. Right, where did the nose go? Right here. See his nose right here? Actually, this lake is making the other side of his nose. I don't know. Just having fun with it, trying to make you guys halfway smile at least. All right, so boy, have things changed. And things change quickly now, day to day. It's like if you don't keep up with this stuff, you're gonna get lost in the sauce. I mean, there's so many stories on Mr. Marfoogle tonight. There was just so much information going on, right? And a lot of distractions. So there are some things that are important, and then there was some other stuff that's even more important. Okay. So there is your oh, this is something else. To look at this zigzag. It's taking cold air from all the way across, zigzagging it, and then bringing it down just above the Canadian border right here. All right. And then whipping it around down into America. There we go. Then while we're here, we need to just check out our SO2. This is kind of a good indicator of how much pressure we have building up down below. And I was looking around at the U.S. today, and we have that one long line. Trying to get rid of those so you can see the map and not the lines. All right. I'm going to kind of, most of this part of the country is clear. I want to kind of go a little bit more into this region for the people that live on this part of the coast, and let you just kind of look around, get a reference. You know where your landmarks are out there, just so you can. I heard people going, "You never showed this part enough," so here we go. And it's not a lot of pressure. You know, these are all little individual sites, and you can see they get caught up in the wind, and these plumes drift. They're not, one big long scar. They're just a little spot that's leaking SO2 being pushed up from down below. And these are all our independent sites. It used to be a lot worse. This is actually kind of clearing up. Let me back out a little bit so you guys can see. This is actually kind of clearing up on our side of the planet, at least. It used to be divided like this. It still is, but this isn't as intense as it used to be. And this seems to be clearing up, which is good for the moment. Is this like a big arrow pointing back this way? What the? Here. That is pointing right at Hawaii. Are you kidding me? Wait, do you see this arrow first? And then let's go to the tip of the arrow. We got a lot of SO2 coming out of Oahu. Remember how we used to check on Oahu a lot? I've been neglecting this area, and I still got some friends out there, and Boy, that has changed since we used to come over to Hawaii. But look how it stretches down each one of these islands. Well, and this one are spewing SO2, sulfur dioxide, and then when it comes up, it catches this wind current. It spans out, and this wedge-shaped thing gets cut off, and looks like a perfect arrow pointing right at this. Sometimes there's signs, and sometimes there's just an arrow pointing right at it. So I would take that maybe we should watch Oahu now. All right, especially since it's been like pointed out to us. And then look at what is going on here. This seems to be a plume site out in the ocean that's being coming off the water and coming up. No way, dude. Oh, we need to what's right there? No. Go back to the chemicals. There's nothing right there. That looks like a big old plume coming off the ocean surface, as if there are like a bunch of bubbles right here. See this big area? This could be all bubbling out there, exuding methane and sulfur dioxide. That's what it looks like to me. Holy crap. That's why this arrow's pointing, to get your attention to look over here, maybe. Wow. And this could be next, where the arrow's pointing. Look at all this. What? All right, what I need to do now that we just discovered this, first of all, let's finish this up. You can see it's getting dark here over in China. This has been our gauge of the pressure a lot lately, just the darkness in this region. And it's grown, a little bit darker. You can see some deep purples and almost blacks in there. What the? Are you kidding me? Is this really what I see, dude? All right, let's come over and check out Java. Yeah, it's turning a little more purple now. It's another indicator. Pressure's building up down below, folks. We're going to have, more volcanic activity. I need to look at this again. Are you kidding me? What was this? See how intense it is right here? Yet there's nothing around this area? And this is out in the ocean. Here's Hawaii. Oh, this is the... I gotta look up the name of this thing again. Anyways, I think you guys are seeing what I'm seeing right here too, aren't you? There's not like a mountain range or a fault line or anything right here for this to be coming from. This is coming from the ocean surface and being picked up. Let me put the wind back on here real quick. I want the surface wind now. And then the chemical. Whoops. Oh, what? Well, that's odd. You would think the wind would be blowing that way, huh? How is this so intense right here and yet have this naked patch? I don't get it. Let's go right down to the surface here. We may not be low enough yet. Go to the surface. Oops. Sorry, I should have done this before the show, but wow. Well, that's interesting. I guess it's pulling. I guess it's pulling from this site right here in the middle. which is spreading it out this way and that way, spreading it out, making this huge plume. I don't get it. We'll have to look into this a little more because that kind of wonder why it's not going over this region right here. Maybe there's just insufficient data for that or something. All right, let's move on. Now that though, I have to check the other chemical SO4. Yeah, there's the same similar thing going on here as well with the SO4. So something. Oh, it's all this volcanic ash and volcanic stuff that's coming off the Kamchatka is getting sucked into this and then spewing down here. All kinds of interesting things going on. This is SO4. This is a sulfate as well, man-made, and comes out of the ground as well. The important thing about this chemical is not where it comes from, is what it does. And SO4 likes to bond with water, which is H2O, and you get a chemical compound called H2SO4, which is better known as sulfuric acid. And we have a lot of acidity in our oceans and in these storms and stuff. You can see this stuff gathers up. See how much is coming out of China right here in this area? That's all that area that has all the pressure and stuff. This is coming out of there. So, all right, let's move on. Back to the air, back to the... Oh, you know what? While we're here, we haven't done something in a minute. I want to go to the bio and check out the fires. Oh, what's going on over here? Big old lot of hot spots and plumes going on here. This might be people, villagers out in the desert having fires. What I really want to look around is Pacific Northwest. Oh, what? Nice and clear, looks like. Let me get just a tad bit more of that and back up a little bit. Screen was looking a little dark there. All right, good. Kind of clear through there. Little speckles down in Texas, right around here in Georgia region. All right, nothing much to look at for those, except for this, but I don't know. It could be. It is winter in Africa, and it could be cold, and it could be a bunch of villagers all having fires in that region, but I don't think so. Anyways, let's move on. We have wasted enough time with that one and get over to the earthquakes now. Oh, we just had one too. Well, let's go check it while it's red. 4.8 down at 25 at Taiwan, right there at that fulcrum point they talk about a lot. Okay, coming on down here, starting off our regular spot. No deep quake really to report today. We had those two 4.5s down there deep yesterday. Energy taking a little while, but popping off in the system. Here's 5.1 down at 141. And pull back just a little bit more. This one down here. Oh, get you guys on the screen as well, don't we? All right, there we go. That one's the 5.1 down at 34. So 5.2, 5.1. Nothing around this region, but up here again at this little spot again, a 4.9 down at 88. Just up from it is this island where we have our new volcano going off, and this is also where we had the big quake and the quake swarm there. The 4.9 down at 78, all right? Similar energy, just kind of creeping up the system here. Just set off one here at Taiwan, 4.8. Creeping on up through the system. It's all pretty much quiet up through there because a lot of the energy now is coming out of the peninsula here. This lake up here in Russia, we have a 5.4 down at a depth of 10. Every once in a while, this is like a weak spot in the crust. It's made this deep lake, and we see activity around this. And today they had a 5.4 up there. Over here, so our 5.0 that hit Greece, finally, they need to get some energy released in this area. 5.0, that's good. Probably didn't do too much damage or kill anybody. Iceland is where we're seeing a lot of our pressure being released in the form of the volcano. Okay. When that thing breaks through the crust and puts up a fountain, a curtain, that's a curtain of pressure being released right there. And some of those fountains go up, a couple 100 feet. Doesn't look like it, but, some of them are, a couple 100 feet tall. So another area that's not showing any earthquakes because the pressure's being released by volcano. Moving around, we did have this off the Aleutians, a 4.4 down at 57. This one, a couple of them up here. This is a new little spot. Actually, let's go in deeper, shall we? It looks like there's more than one. Close that out. Look around topographically real quick. This tundra area right here. There's almost a difference of color and terrain as we go right down this. Almost looks like a fault line right here, probably. Looks like there's a river that falls pretty close to it, too. Anyways, let's go with 3.4 down at 15, 3.3 down at 15, and the biggest being a 4.5 up here in this little region of Alaska. This is a new little thing out on this little peninsula here, which kind of looks like an arrow. Anyways, let's move along. Oh yeah, down here, that's where we need to go. First of all, get these out of the way. 2.9. Currently just had a 2.5 in Barstow. Now this one, this 4.4 down at 5.9 with a tsunami advisory. They're very cautious off the coast of California. 4.7 this says. That's why I clicked on it, because I wanted to see what their magnitude read. I go more with this one a little bit better. And 4.7, and they said 4.4. You see why we do that? I think you know why we do that. We're not new to this game. 2.8 over here in New Mexico, and nothing up in Oklahoma. All right, good. Very quiet around this little region. It usually is. Brief little 0.2 down at 31 on the Cocos. Let's go to our fulcrum point here. 4.5, 215. 4.1, 97. 4.8, 95. 4.2, 118. Oh, yes, over here. 5.1, beautiful. We need to see more of this energy getting released out of all this as well. Got to remember this pressure comes from down below. And I was talking the other night, and I saw a comment in the comment section as well of when this magma pushes up to the underside of the crust, it almost gives it rigidity and stability again. There's structure underneath some of the gaps or whatever that are between the crust and the lava. Sometimes there's, voids, and those voids get filled in. Now all of a sudden there's no plates that are falling down while another one's lifting up. They're all being pushed up equally from down below. And it's almost like if you had a rubber balloon that barely had any air in it, and, well, say one side of the rubber balloon stretched out and the rubber's weaker, and you barely put any air in that balloon, just barely enough to kind of inflate it, you'll see that it's uniform in shape. But more pressure you put into it, you'll see that weak spot start to bubble out, right? Well, when all that pressure pushes to the underside of the plate, it fills in the gaps underneath, and then kind of locks it into place a little bit. And we're seeing more of a locked in place type earthquake scenario, or as far as our plate boundaries and stuff. And now when we do get quakes, they're all kind of uniform. Mid-range 4s and 5s. Okay. So that's good. It's just a feeling I have that when, we have pressure down below, should be increasing quake activity as well. It does. But when it's just right up to the edge, it kind of holds everything still too, a little bit. Stabilizing from underneath effect, if you understand what I'm saying there. Some of you guys grasp the concept. Speaking of which, look at this. We were just up here. 3.2 in Teller. Teller, Alaska. Okay. Oh, 2.5. Squetana. All right. Yeah, good luck. Breath. All those, Brian. All right. I think we're good here. Time to get over to the volcano. We'll leave this one open because it looks like activity's kind of picking up. We had 3 red dots all, just within a few minutes here, where we haven't had more than one, in an hour for a long time. So looks like maybe we got a little activity picking up right now as we speak. Let's come on over and try to do a volcano report. And oh my goodness, what have they done to this poor dog? Oh, he's so cute. All right, let's I was scrolling through this earlier. Let me get us a tad bit better shot here. All right. That is for the 15th. We already have stuff for the 16th. And we're going to go way back up through it as well. All right. Here we go. Volcanoes today, the 16th. Fuego, Semeru, Marapi, Requejanas, of course, Reventador, Luatobi, Nevada del Ruiz, and Sabancaya. Here is a map of... Can I get this to zoom in? All right, here's a little map of the lava that came out, okay, across the road. They had their barrier built. Some of it went around, or, kind of broke through the little barrier a little bit there. But what was more important was the new vent that opened up right next to the neighborhood. I mean, couldn't have been, well, I mean, it could have been downtown, would have been worse. But that is very close to the housing and everything. We all saw the houses that burned down. Anyway, there is your map of the flow, how far it reached and everything. You can come over here and check this out if you want. So, jumping in, Requejanas, new lava flow maps, new hazard assessment maps, Luatobi going off, Semeru, 15,000 feet here, Marapi, Fuego, 16,000 feet. Nevada del Ruiz, 19,000 feet. 14,000 feet. Reventador. All right, that was just for the 16th. And it's not even the 16th yet. Well, it is somewhere on the world. So here we go. Requejanas Peninsula, the overnight flow and everything that everybody saw there. You can come over here and watch this on X if you want. I don't watch X, so. Suwanosejima, Ibu, Luatobi, 14,000. Semeru, 15,000. Ducono is the only one that's under 10,000 at 7,000 feet. All the rest are over 10,000. Here's Popo at 20,000. Fuego at 15. Nevada at 23. Reventador at 15. Sabancaya at 25. And Villarrica back on the list. Weak emissions, but back on the list. Now, here is your list here for potential ones to come online and stuff. I had somebody ask me as well in the comments, does this affect the weather? And yes, it does. When these volcanoes are spewing ash into the air, all those particles need water droplets. When they form, they need a particle to latch onto. And when you have twice the amount of particles in the air can hold twice as much water. And when twice as much, now we're talking maybe three times as much, because every day, 25,000 every day. Not just one volcano pumping out ash every day, a little bit at a time. We got a lot of volcanoes pumping a lot of ash out into the atmosphere. And the weather's just going, what? All this food to feed on? Holy crap. And with our sun, the way it's acting, our magnetic field, the way it's acting, we get convection on a bigger level now. All right, and that's what's happening. There's a lot more water in the air now. The air can hold a lot more water droplets because there's a lot more particles up there for them to cling on to. Probably three times as much as there was before. If you know what the true numbers would scare you if you knew how many more times it was than normal. Anyways, and it continues. But not to fear, our Savior is near. All right, come on over. Let's just go ahead and get this started. Let it run for a second while I take a sip. Quite the storm that they had. Quite the big chill, deep freeze that accompanied it. They're still undergoing all kinds of repercussions from it. And a lot of people are in the dark and cold tonight, so pray for those people, for their God to give them strength and endurance to make it through this. You know, a lot of people hopefully weren't caught off guard. I know a lot of my viewers weren't because you were here paying attention. Okay, current conditions as we speak, the nighttime icing event in Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. Going into the morning time, it's going to continue through Alabama and Georgia. Excuse me. As we go into the noontime, you see it's kind of jumped up to here. We have snow up here, northeast, a little icing event here. And then it kind of leaves by the end of convection. That'll be 7 o'clock, nighttime out there, really. Here we go. As another storm moving in. As that wraps up and gets kind of tight and moves out of there. Icing again here in between these two air masses. That'll be the noontime of the 17th. This low plunging down south here again. This is the end of convection, the 17th, going into the nighttime. Morning of the 18th, noon, convection. See the moisture meeting this cold air. Icing again here at convection around Tennessee. Still little remnants there. Back up in there again. Washington and Oregon. Watch out for an icing event here. This is getting nuts. Here we are at the morning of the 19th. Still more icing up in Washington, Idaho. Storm coming on shore on the west coast here. That's the nighttime of the 19th, morning of the 20th. Noon, convection. This big, huge, high-pressure ridge right here. Nighttime. It's going to be a lot of cold air still in that area. Morning of the 21st. Noontime. Oh, we had a tornado today that was kind of unseen. And this cold air, when it drops down and it collides with warm air over here, we get lift. These two air masses, warm and moist, or cold, dry air mixing with warm, moist air down here. It was earlier today. I'm just pointing at the region. But yeah, a little tornado popped up down in Florida today on the backside of that storm. Here we are at the convection of the 21st, hitting the west coast here. Watch out for flash flooding. Intense up here is British Columbia as well. The night of the 21st, morning of the 22nd, noon, convection. See these thunderstorms popping up through here in Texas. Let's go back a frame right there. That's the noon time into convection there. So there might be a little severe weather, possible tornado or two. We'll see what happens as that might go nocturnal at nighttime. Even remnants there in the morning of the 23rd. Hitting Louisiana, coming off the coast and hitting Louisiana, reaching up into Missouri, Arkansas as well. That's the end of convection, the 23rd. If this was going on in the morning in the noon time, I think convection might be a little bit stronger up in this region. We'll see, but down here, it's going pretty well, hitting the panhandle of Florida again and that Gulf Coast region. Now, this is where these waterspouts come and make landfall and catch people off guard. And it looks like a cute little waterspout out there, but once it makes landfall and starts picking up dirt and debris, it's not so cute. It turns into a tornado. Here we go. Severe weather coming off, hitting Texas in the morning of the 24th. This region, the morning of the 24th. There it fires up by the noon time of the 24th. There's convection, January 24th, just right here, hitting Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. All this can shift, one way or the other. This is just kind of what's being forecasted for now. The nighttime of the 24th, going into the morning hours. See how backside it pulling up more moisture into this cold air here, and we're getting severe weather in the morning hours again. This is where it's dangerous. People aren't awake yet. There's the noon time. There's the convection right there. Oh, there's Seven Spaulding. Hi, Mr. Spaulding. I'll have to give you a wrench once we get done with this. Anyways, back to the night of the 25th. We're into the morning severe weather in the morning again. Icing up here. Even though this doesn't look like the big monster with the big tight millibars and everything, it's still very dangerous down here. That's going to be the noon time of the 26th, the convection of the 26th there, nighttime, morning of the 27th, noon, nighttime, or convection, nighttime. All right, and that's about it for that. Yeah. All right, so I just go right back to this right here. Whoops, pause, go backwards. So we're current conditions right now. Everybody's hunkered down. We got big old cold air mass. Stay warm. We got icing events going on out there. Don't go trying driving this stuff, you guys. You can't even get it off your cell phone. So don't try to drive in the ice as well. Here we go. The morning hours of the 16th. So the morning commute in this region is going to be very slippery for Alabama, Georgia. They're still recovering back here in Texas. It's just going to be gnarly in the South. It's going to be a nightmare for these folks who aren't used to snow and ice. It's not even worth it. It's just not worth it. All right, so boom. Then by the noontime, turning into rain and moving off the coast. Look at this intense snow on the backside here. This is at low is at 996. What was it right before that? 1001, 996, 986. It drops to right there. 971 at the very end. So that's turning into like a bomb cyclone just as it leaves. So watch out right through this time frame, the noon time of the 16th up here in this region as that thing kind of gains strength at moving out. All right, so there's that. All right, so now on to the spiritual report. Let's use this one and open up my channel here. And let's see, what are we going to show tonight, Lord? I didn't even have anything picked out. Um, the uh, the event that happened there that we've been studying for the last few days. I see some more of you have gone over there, and the same results that the first kind of group had. There's like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Is this really happening? And it gets disturbing a little bit when you realize what's going on there, but it's good news. It's not like you're watching a dragon touchdown or Satan touching down or something. It's the good guy you see there in the clouds and the lightning. So, I'm I really would like to do more on it, but it's kind of up to you guys to go finish up the homework over there. The people who haven't, I posted the link in the description of the last couple of videos. It's also in the community of my page as well. And I suggest you guys do your own little research. Don't just take it from me. Go to that video. After watching it several times, it should bring joy and hope, and not despair or anxiety. Anyways, should we pull it up or not? Really? You want to pull it up? Okay. So let's come over to this one real quick. Hang on, I gotta do something real quick, and we will do that other one as well. There we go. Yeah, this gentleman right here. Come over, give him a like. He does a good job. I guess we'll just try it with the sound as well. Go right past the spot. Right here. All right.
Oh. Holy fucking shit, guys. Oh.
Put it on the 7.5. Comes in a little clearer.
Look at this, mate.
Oh.
All right, it was funny. I'm going through the comments, and we were discussing the sound and listening to the EVP. And the dude in the comment was like, "What about the giant shadow in the background, dude? You didn't see that?" Yes, I saw that. We all can see that part. It's the commentary of it being real or fake that all of a sudden this EVP along with it changes everything dramatically. All right, this isn't fake. This is a real event, and you can kind of tell by the people's reaction as well. And I'll try and play it one more time. I don't know how well the audio picked it up last time with the headphones. It didn't sound too well to me, but we're going to play it one or two times and then we'll do a reading. And then.
Shit, guys.
Could be blue, and you know.
Sorry about the profanity.
Look at this, mate.
We'll try to keep it to a minute.
Oh. Holy fucking shit, guys.
Also, the wind. I think maybe it might say the wind as well. It was the word. Then it sounded like the wolf. Then it sounds like the word. Now I also hear the wind. So depending on what you guys need to come over here and listen to yourself, put some headphones on, slow it down, and listen to the electromagnetic voice print. And maybe that's what we should do is go.
Be fake.
One last time.
Oh. Holy fucking shit, guys.
All right, so there's that. You know what we're going to do? I want to do the other one. Uh, here. Here's the other EVP that was captured that has been taken out now, taken down from YouTube. This one is sounds like it's saying Brian Knight is coming like a lion. All right, so this weather event, the storm chasers capturing this van, flipping in the background. His windshield wipers are slapping in the background, and what he didn't hear is the electromagnetic voice print that was left on there. And later on, when you play it, you can hear it. He doesn't hear it while it's happening. It's electromagnetically implanted onto the video, onto the audio of this video. And that's what the EVP is, all right? And you can hear it in that one, and then we had it in this as well. And now back to this one real quick here. Just one last time, and then we'll do everything.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
He is the wolf, the wind, or something. I think it says he is the wind, or the word, or something. You got to come over here and put your headphones on and listen to it. In that little clip, it says, he is the Christ that's coming quickly. I'll play it one more time for you guys and see if we can move on from this.
That's got to be fake, man.
Oops.
I'm just putting out there. It could be blue, and you know what I mean. Look at this, mate.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
All right, so there's layout. Now, let's go back and now go back to this image. Okay, I see what it was. All right, there we go. Boom. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head, too. All right, Joe. I'll see you on the next one, brother. You don't want to hang out for the reading? That's okay. You can always play it back later when you got more time. I had a wife, too, and I know how it goes, sir. I understand better than most. Bless her little heart, too. I love her style. All right, let's get back to business here. I had an order to this, and what happened to it? Okay, well, I guess we're just going to start here. Anyway, so, everybody ready? I'm not. I need better lighting. Okay. Remember that you live in a fallen world, an abnormal world tainted by sin. Much frustration and failure results from your seeking perfection in this life. There is nothing perfect in this world except me. That is why closeness to me satisfies deep yearnings and fills you with joy. I have planted longing for perfection in every human heart. This is a good desire, which I alone can fulfill. But most people seek this fulfillment in other people and earthly pleasures or achievements. Thus, they create idols before which they bow down. I will not have any other gods before me. Make me the deepest desires of your heart. Let me fulfill your yearning for perfection. Seek my face, and you will find fulfillment of your deepest longings. My world is filled with beautiful things. They are meant to be pointers to me, reminders of my abiding presence. The earth still declares my glory to those who have eyes that see and ears that hear. You had a darkened mind before you sought me wholeheartedly. I chose to pour my light into you so that you can be a beacon to others. There is no room for pride in this position. Your part is to reflect my glory. So, to all who receive me, to those who believe in my name, I give the right to become children of God. There is a close connection between receiving me and believing in my name, the essence of who I am. Receiving a gift requires some measure of openness, and I am the best gift imaginable. Recognizing me as your Savior God, you can believe that my offer of everlasting life is real and that it is for you. Being a child of God is indescribably glorious. I am both your Savior and your constant companion. As you journey through life in this dark world, I am with you each step of the way. I provide light not only for your path, but also for your mind and heart. I delight in giving you joy, now and throughout eternity. Your brightest moment on earth will one day look quite dim in comparison with the glory light of heaven. There you will see my face in its brilliant splendor, and you will be satisfied with endless oceans of love. So, when your world looks dark and threatening, come to me. Pour out your heart to me, knowing that I am listening and I care. Find comfort in my sovereignty. I'm in control, even when global events look terribly out of control. Actually, many things are not as they should be, not as they were created to be. You do well to yearn for perfect goodness. Someday those longings will be wondrously satisfied. Finally, let's see here. Feel free to wrestle with me about your concerns, but remember that the goal is to come to a place of confident trust and transcendent joy. You won't understand my mysterious ways, but you can find hope and help in my presence. I am your strength. All right. I think that was it for tonight. We got a lot of pressure down below building up, so everybody kind of hold on. Seems to be coming out of the volcanoes. Iceland let loose a little bit of pressure. We're still having these, trembling quakes that kind of relying on the magma underneath. So we're very, very touchy point here. Okay, we also have this human going berserk right here, really pushing your buttons. As if people don't push your buttons enough, you got this going on as well, right? And so you're being bombarded and bombarded, and bombarded on ways and dimensions and different variant ways and stuff. And the only way to withstand that kind of punishment is having faith right here. And that's why I'm giving you the foundation right here. This beautiful image right here. It costs so much to get this. It was very painful to get these pictures. So that's why I keep showing them, because they're so important. They're that important. That's 2,000-year-old prophecy come true right there on Easter. Okay. That's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I'm already back. Can't you tell?